What's up, everybody? Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We're going to do another how-to gear champion guide. So this is actually going to be a guide for FENAX. He actually helped me out a lot in the Faction Wars 21. We're trying to go through all the Faction Wars 21 to, really help everybody out on what you can and cannot use, how to gear champions, stuff like that. But this guide is not a full guide. It's mainly just on what specifically how to gear type champions. I loved it. It's a quick guide, just kind of going over specific champions, what you should be looking for, how you should be gearing them, and hopefully it helps you guys out. So that way you can specifically focus on what gear to keep and not keep for specific champions. So this one is going to be FENAX. He is a unique champion. He hits really, really hard. He's great in the Ice Golem. He's great in Faction Wars. And he can also be very, very good in the arena as well. So what we first do every single time we do a guide on this is look at the skills and how we're going to gear these champions out. So this guy has a skill which is obviously right away block revive. So attacks one enemy, places an extra hit. If this champion has any debuffs, enemies killed by this champion cannot be revived. So pairing them obviously with people that debuff the enemy champion is going to be easy. He actually has debuffs himself, which is a lot. So he's able to hit somebody twice and block revive. So I want to make sure I'm ignoring defense, I'm having enough attack, probably Giant Slayer just to make sure that I can really get that killing blow in on somebody, or Helm Smasher. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing is he actually attacks all enemies, but he has a 75% chance booked up to an 80% chance of placing a block buffs, which is great for Ice Golem, like I said, for 2 turns. Also places a block cooldown skill for 1 turn if the skill does not place block buff. So it's just a good combo. It kind of always blocks their stuff. So I always want to make sure I have accuracy with this guy. Also based off of attack, you can get this down to a 4-turn cooldown, but also attacks one enemy, has a 60% chance booked up to a 60% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff and 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. This could be booked down to a 4-turn cooldown, but decreased speed and decreased defense, it's not a huge chance. It only attacks one enemy. So not really my go-to for my defense down champion, but it does provide 2 more debuffs that you can have on the target. But this is going to be the main target that we're focusing on for this champion is the block revive. So the Masteries, I didn't book out any Masteries because I literally just used them for Faction Wars. But again, if you go all the way down to Helm Smasher, Giant Slayer for, not Giant Slayer, War Master for PvE, this is what I would suggest, especially for Ice Golem, and probably Doom Tower. Yeah, because Doom Tower, if you block revive the spider, can't come back, so that's great. And then this for more PvP action, just to be consistent with the extra 20% crit damage. Accuracy, like I said, I want to get down to the accuracy. I want to do this to reduce the turn meter, and I want to get down to this to increase the buff duration. Possibly this to help land those buffs. That's an extra 5%. And yeah, that's probably all. I'd probably go down this route to get down to this, and then or Sniper, one of those two. Maybe Sniper, because you really just want to kill a guy. So go with just Sniper, just to land it. So, all right, but artifacts. This is kind of what we're doing. So I want him. This is the total stats that we got up to. We got up to 188. This is without being like level crit damage sets. This is without any crit damage masteries. So this is just based off attack. So for his gloves, crit damage. I think if I were you, I would 100% go for as much crit damage and attack as possible for this guy. If he has a ton of attack with a ton of crit damage, that is really what you're aiming for. You want him fast and hit really, really hard. So go for the crit damage gloves. Now, when you get crit damage gloves, always try and pair it with crit rate. If you want to get them up to 100% crit rate, you need at least to have crit rate on the gloves. Now, if you look at these gloves, they're not 80%, they're not 6-star, but they'll do for what we're trying to get. So if you have a 5-star crit damage glove, use it as long as it has crit rate. We only rolled 1 crit rate here, but we did get speed, attack, and accuracy, which is everything this guy is needing. So these are really, really good gloves for FENAX. Now the second one is up to you. You can make them more tanky. For me, I needed them a little bit more tanky in my Faction Wars, so I went with the HP banner. If you're using them strictly for was it the Ice Golem or Arena, just go straight attack. Get as much attack as you possibly can with speed, crit rate, crit damage. But this is an attack set with 5% ignore defense. Try him in a Savage set. just ignoring as much defense as you possibly can would help out so much in PvP. And then always go with speed on this guy. You can get him super high with attack boots, but you want him to go before he dies. He's very squishy. He only has 13,000 base HP for 60 and only 900 defense. So he's not going to last. So always make him faster than the enemy. So always going for the speed boots. We actually have 14% crit on this one and a little bit of attack at the bottom, but you definitely want speed boots on him. If you go with attack, you have to make sure he can get to attack. If he doesn't, it's kind of just a waste. That was my issue, was he was just dying way too early in PvE. If it's PvP, always go speed. So now these up top, really just looking for the stats you're looking for. So you want the crit rate, crit damage, speed, crit rate, attack, and then this one we got 18% crit rate, 10% speed, and 6% crit damage. So that's the difference. This one always go with the crit damage. Now this isn't 6-star, but if it was 6-star, it's an extra 7% crit damage right there. Look for the accuracy if you can, just to kind of land that those debuffs if you need to. And then this I would go attack with as much attack percentage in the rolls. So for this, again, we're building it for more faction wars. So we went with the HP with a little bit of HP bonus. And then this, if you're going damage, go with the attack. So attack with as much speed as you possibly can. But with the faction wars, you want to kind of land this as well as landing this. So I know, again, it's only a 60% chance, and this is a 75% chance, but it does land because it's an AoE. So if you're able to get the AoE off, you're putting the block buffs up, especially for the Ice Golem. So the accuracy, we kind of went with the accuracy just to make sure that we hit that. This and this. So, but this is what we're focusing for. So I've seen him hit so hard with 5,000 attack, which we'd probably have that. Let me do some math. So the 60% based off of attack is based off the mat right here, the 1454. So we go 1454 times 60%. That's another 900 attack we would have gotten if we had a attack chest piece. So that would be probably 4,000. And then getting something else like this would be attack and this would be attack. So that's an extra 250, 500, adding to our base percentage. So you could definitely get them up to 5,000 attack. And if you get that extra 2,000 attack, that what we have right here, he's going to hit really hard. So 5,000 attack, probably close to 200, 220 speed if you're going for PvP. Close to 100% as you possibly get. Always want to try and get 100% because all the crit damage is nothing if you don't have a crit rate. But 100% crit rate, and then this, once we get that 6-star neck piece, that's an extra 7%. That's 197. So, or 7%, 195, 195, and then plus the extra 20% for the mastery. That's 215. 195 plus 1, 215 crit damage without even trying. So it's 215% crit damage with just having masteries and having the right gear. So that's 100% what I would suggest. The 267 is only that high because of the banner, but if you take the banner off, you should be good, especially for the PvP sense. But if you're going for faction wars, guys, this is what we did for faction wars. HP chest piece, crit damage because we want them to actually hit hard. 100% crit rate as long as you can get it. This was the 40% accuracy with 5% speed. You don't need it, but it definitely helps. Accuracy for the banner, and then HP, and then crit damage. And that's kind of what I would go with if you're going for just faction wars. I saw the cheese with faction wars. Why he's so cheesy in faction wars is because the two ads that hit really, really hard on the boss, you kill him, and then block revive, so that way the boss can't bring him back up, and then it's kind of like GG because you run Cardinal, which just keeps rezzing him back up anyway. So that's kind of the cheese that you do with Faction Wars 21. If you haven't seen it, go check out my video on it. I'll link it at the end of this. But that is my suggestion with FENAX. So if there's any other champions you want to see guides on how to gear specifically, let me know. We did a couple of them already. We're doing Sylar next, but let me know if there's any champions that you really want to see. And then we'll do a guide on it, and I'll gear him specifically for what I think he would be good in the game. So guys, appreciate it. Good luck with everything, and enjoy the rest of your week.